Hi, everybody. I'm Tim Newton from the Krannert School of Management, joined by Monica Lockard. Monica is the Human Resources Director for the City of Indianapolis and Marion County. Welcome back to campus.
Thank you so much. I greatly appreciate it.
Krannert alum,
Yes.
came to Purdue through the Business Opportunity Program.
Yes, I did.
And I believe Dr. Bell was still in charge then, Dr. Cornell
Dr. Bell was there.
Tell me about your interactions with Cornell Bell.
Well, I want to say we met Dr. Bell prior to joining the program. You know, Dr. Bell was also recruiter for the program, and he definitely advocated for the program, what was to come from it, what the optimal outcomes were, what the challenges may be, and so I had a twin sister. I have a twin sister, so he was selling it to both of us, or trying to persuade us and our parents, and we decided to go ahead and come on board, and it was an excellent opportunity. Dr. Bell was tough. Dr. Bell was.
I've heard that.
Dr. Bell was tough. He did not play at all, and he really had high expectations for all of his participants, and I would say majority rose to those expectations because he tried to give you the resources and the tools and the support to get what you needed. So. 13 hours in 2 months was significant, classwork to take. But it was worth it, definitely worth it.
For those who may not be familiar, the Business Opportunity Program, which is now celebrating its 50th year, brings students in the summer before you started as a freshman.
Yes.
So basically you had a chance to get almost a full semester's worth of credits. And the other thing I think that we hear from students who went through that program, it gives you a chance to develop a great cohort of classmates that you'll be able to keep throughout your time here.
Definitely, and I would say that's one of the things that I think was most valuable, in the sense that in addition to almost a semester of coursework, it took any intimidation or anxiety out of the experience of being at Purdue. So I never thought Purdue was overwhelming. I wasn't intimidated by the presence of it. It never felt like 30-some thousand students. I think there may have been 32 or 30,000 at that time. It never felt like that to me. It felt like State Street. It's just like it's either on one side of State Street or the other, and I think we stayed in McCutcheon. So we walked from McCutcheon all the way to Krannert, and so you learn to exercise. And air conditioning wasn't, I don't think, in that dorm, but it never was intimidating. It never felt like something that was not achievable, because we had started with a group of people. So you learn to study together. You learn to compromise and work with others if you didn't have to do that in high school. So it was challenging, but it was worth it, and it was great preparation.
You decided to go into the field of human resources. Yes. Why?
I think I've always had an affinity for people, and looking back, I was thinking, how did I automatically know what I wanted to do going in? But my father has been a past human resources director with General Motors years ago, a labor relations director, and maybe just picking up on things from him, and I thought maybe this is something I want to do, but I always knew I wanted to do that. And there wasn't a major for HR at that time, many years ago. There was just a minor. And so I went ahead and took that coursework, and I've been in HR for 19 years. I've always stayed in HR. So I love working with people. I love the function of human resources, and I wish more folks would consider it.
You started on the corporate side. You were in HR for a number of different corporations, and now you're on the government side. Is there any difference in the philosophies or the basic things that an HR director has to do in those various fields?
Mm-hmm. Well, one, resources are different. So when you work for a corporate entity, whether it be public or private, typically you have more resources as far as being able to invest in your people, because you have budgets for those type of things. And I think on the government side, the resources are more constrained because you're also dealing with taxpayer dollars. You're not dealing with anything that's generated from a product that's been sold or made and purchased. You're dealing with taxpayer dollars, so very mindful of how you spend that dollar. And so the resources was one of the biggest difference. And then secondly, a lot of things that would normally be a policy or something in a private company or a public corporation is maybe an ordinance which is a law. And so, so sometimes that helps me have easy rebuttals when people want to challenge different things. And I said, well, this is an ordinance, so I can't flex on something like that. That may be something you need to talk to with your elected official. But so I think that's the difference, is that there is law attached to so many things that we do that are inside the operation of the city county government, and then also resources.
As you're looking to fill talent roles, what kinds of qualities, what are you looking for? If somebody sits apart or across from you during an interview, what really puts that person over the top compared to somebody else?
Their energy, is one of the things. Are they giving off a positive energy, and are they informed and prepared for the interview? Do they know where I work? Do they, not just that this is where they came into the building, have they reviewed the things that are key focus areas for, whether it be city, county, business, whether it's Cummins, Rolls-Royce, Aon? Do you know what we're about? Do you know what our product is? Do you know who our biggest competitors are? Do you know what's required for us to be innovative and competitive the next 5 years? And then also, one of the things I tell students all the time is, never say I'll do anything. I'll take any job. No, you really won't. What job will you do well performing, and what are you strong at doing? So a person who's self-aware, they know where they want to go, they've done their research, and they took the time to put their best foot forward in the interview.
Part of being in the HR function is not just identifying talent and hiring that talent, but developing that talent. As you look at the current workforce today, as we sit in 2018, what areas need the most development, have you found during your time, particularly in the government sector?
Emotional intelligence. I think one of the things that will determine the altitude of a potential leader is their ability to learn other people, whether it be our residents who we serve in city county government, or whether it's a company and it's the products that you serve, the markets that you serve. What do people want? What motivates them? What challenges them? Taking the time to build the relationship, knowing yourself, and knowing how others perceive you. So you can have all the book smarts in the world. You can know numbers front and back. You can know technology front and back. But if you don't know how to work with people and leverage their strengths, recognize your own weaknesses, leverage your own strengths, there will be a cap on how far you can go.
It's one of the reasons I think here in Krannert and throughout Purdue, we try to encourage students to talk to people who are not like them, because that gives them the opportunity to develop that emotional intelligence. Right. We work in a whole different world than maybe those of us who grew up many years ago. It's more diverse, it's global, and if you can't understand intelligence, emotional intelligence, and learning the cultures and different things that you have to know, it's difficult.
It really is, and you have to be intentional. It does not come easy. You have to be intentional, and you have to take the time. There is a sense of urgency in society. Everything is very fast. You have to be intentional to slow it down, to be mindful of others and how they see you and how you see them.
You've done a lot of community involvement throughout your career. Why has that been important to you?
I just believe every one of us are here for a purpose, and it's not just to generate income and provide for our families. Of course, we need to do that, but we're here to serve. So every breath I'm given, I don't take it for granted, especially as I get older. I don't take it for granted. And so I feel like it's to serve or do something for someone else. Sometimes it's my family, and sometimes it's other folks. I believe in sowing and reaping.
What message today for the students? What do you want them to take away from your talk?
I would say to take no time for granted. Learn as much as you can. No one can take that from you. No matter what job you have, once you learn something, it's yours. You have that knowledge, skill, and ability. Leverage that knowledge, skill, and ability. Sharpen your saw. Never stop learning. Help others. Lift others as you climb. Think of others in your efforts and where you give and where you serve and where you work. And have your own core value. Have your own set of core values on how you want to handle yourself in your career, and stick to them. Stick to them.
Monica, we're glad that Dr. Bell found both you and your sister and brought you to Purdue. And
yes.
thankful to have you here today on campus.
Thank you so much, Tim. I appreciate it.
All right, for Monica Lockard, I'm Tim Newton.